Hey everybody, welcome to a new video. Today we're going to talk about how I handle two cameras at the same time during a match. Alright, so first of all, this is the way I do it. Doesn't mean it's the right way. If you have two cameras and you do it differently, good for you. Just do what works for you. I'm just going to show you how I handle two cameras. Right, so this is for those situations where you have two cameras and one of the lenses is a super telephoto, so it's a long lens, it's a heavy lens. So what you need a monopod. You want a sturdy one, you probably want a carbon fiber one. Now brand wise, there's tons out there from Siryu, or however you pronounce that, Manfrotto, Vanguard, etc. So buy a good monopod, don't cheapen out. If you're buying a monopod, it's probably because you invested in a big long lens. You don't want to cheapen out, you want to make sure that it's sturdy and also that it's comfortable. When I'm taking pictures pitch side, I usually put my left hand on top of the lens hood to balance the weight between the camera and the lens. Some people like to hold it with their left hand on a monopod, to each their own, but this is the way I prefer to do it. If I need to switch to the 7200, there's a few ways to do it, and let's go over them. Before we talk about the techniques of switching cameras, let me talk about my setup. So if I'm at a match where I need to send pictures immediately, I'll have my laptop to my left on top of the belly case and the 7200 with the secondary camera on top of my backpack to my right. If I don't need to send pictures, then the 7200 could be on either side. As for the techniques of switching cameras, so I'm on my 400, the action starts to come closer and I need to take pictures with the 7200. How do I go about it? There's a few ways. The first one, and probably the fastest one, is to just grab the monopod with my left hand, grab the 7200 and start taking pictures. Now there's some advantages and disadvantages with this. The advantage, it's probably the quickest technique because I don't even need to look. I just grab, take pictures, and that's it. One big disadvantage is because my left hand is holding the monopod, I don't have it free to control the zoom ring, right? So if I'm picking up the 7200 with one hand, I better have the zoom ready so I don't cut off anybody, right? I don't want the zoom to be too close, too tight, or too wide. So I need to be sure that if I do that, it's gonna be okay. So this is a technique that I do use from time to time, but it's not the most recommended one in my opinion, because again, you cannot control the zoom ring. Another way to do it is just to rest the monopod on your shoulder with the lens hood and the camera facing forward. So you just grab the 7200, you start taking pictures. One thing you need to watch out for is that the 7200, especially the lens hood, does not cover the action that you're taking with a 7200. So if the lens hood is further away than the 7200 and you're taking a picture to your left or to the side where the hood is, be careful that it doesn't block the shot. So the preferred way most likely is to turn it around, the lens hood, rest on the shoulder again, and then this way nothing is blocking it. So you can just grab the 7200, take pictures, and you know that the camera standing on your shoulder is not going to block any of the action. Another technique which I don't recommend at all is to just close your legs and hold the monopod between your knees. The reason why I don't recommend this, I think, is quite obvious. If the lens falls down, you might break the lens, the camera, etc. You don't want to do that. Last but not least, if I know that the action is going to happen close to me for a considerable amount of time, say a corner kick in football, I'm just going to lay down the 400 on the grass, pick up the 7200, and take the shots that I need. Now that's how I handle two cameras. I know that certain people do it differently. For example, I know some photographers like to have the neck strap around their neck for the 7200 during the whole match. Just thinking about it gives me pain on my neck and my back because the 7200 with the camera is quite heavy, and if you have that weight constantly on your neck, it's gonna hurt. So in my opinion, I think it's best to have the 7200 on the side, but again, to each their own. Some other people also like to use, say, a black rapid strap to have the 7200 to the side ready at all times. That's also okay, provided of course that you have enough height so that the camera is not touching the ground. So careful with that as well. And before I go, what if I need to move from one location to another, so I actually need to stand up and walk with 2 cameras? How do I do it? Personally, I like to have the 400 to my side, so I grab it by the collar and I have it around my waistline most likely. Some other people prefer to take it on the shoulder, but again, to each their own. If I know that I need to walk with a 400 and the 7200, say at the end of a match for celebration pictures or whatnot, I will most likely have set up the Black Rapid, so I have the 7200 at all times, and then if I need to let it go, I just let it go and I grab the 400. And that's all for today, guys. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you aren't already, and until next time, take it easy, guys. Stay safe.